So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to make a slab. I have a round ball of clay here, and I'm flattening down with the palm of my hand and then tossing it onto a flat surface to further flatten it, and then using a rolling pin to roll from the center until I have an even slab of clay. Once I've done this, I can go ahead and cut out whatever shape I want. We're going to use these as examples of the different stages of clay, but you could also use these as test tiles to figure out what kind of glaze would be good to put on your final project, which is actually something that we'll be doing over the course of this lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and engrave what stage of clay each shape is going to represent. The first one is wet clay, the second one is leather hard, and the last one is bone dry. And I'm going to show you guys how these different stages of clay behave. Here I'm carving around the outside of my hand to create a hand shape, and this is something we will be doing in our final project. We're going to create a hand sculpture using one of two methods. This is the first method, and I'm going to show you the second method that you can possibly use. This is an example of engraving again, where I'm carving into the surface to leave a design which will dry into the clay. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it down in this bowl so that the hand will dry in a curved bowl shape. I was going to use this as an example to show you guys inlaying, but I actually have a clip later in the video to show you guys inlaying better. I'm putting this wet clay in the bag to keep it from drying out. So here I'm going to go ahead and use that same technique I showed you guys initially to make a slab of clay, evening it out with a rolling pin. And then from sight, I am making a smaller version of my hand. And then I'm going to go ahead and add volume to this once it's been cut out. I'm going to make little rolls of clay and then put them on the fingertips and pat them down until they have integrated with the surface. And I'm showing you guys the second method in case anybody wanted to have more volume in their hand. The smaller size kind of allows you to do this process quicker so that you aren't spending too much time with the initial forming of the hand, and you can focus a little bit more on the design. So I'm going to show you guys the three different examples here, and that went really fast, so I'm just going to continue to explain this while I do this engraving process. So the top three there, you can see them sitting. The first one is wet clay, and as I showed you in that initial clip, the wet clay you can still bend without it breaking. The leather hard clay, which is broken, it holds its shape. It's dried into that shape. You can still carve into the clay, but if you try and bend it, it's going to break. And the last one, the heart, you can see has completely dried out and is a lighter color. This is how we know that it's ready for the first firing once it has changed to this stage, the bone dry stage. But at this stage, you can no longer manipulate the clay. Down below, you can see I am engraving a similar design to my example piece here, and I'm just kind of showing you how I did that. So here I'm showing you the second process that you'll be using, which is inlaying. Inlaying is when you carve away an area and then you fill it with slip using a paintbrush to fill that area. And you may have to apply a couple of layers and let them dry in between. And then once it's built up to the top surface, you would just carve away the excess slip, leaving just the shape that you want. So in this case, I'm carving away the letters, I'm going to fill them, and then I'm going to remove the excess slip, leaving just the letters. This is a long process of carving it out. If when your design is this intricate, you guys don't have to do this intricate of a design. I don't expect this of you. I'm gonna let this play for a little bit and then I'm gonna cut it so you don't have to watch the full thing. Okay, I'll show up right after this. So I've already applied one layer of slip. I'm pressing a second layer with my paintbrush, and I'll do one more after this when it dries, and then I'll carve away the excess. This brown slip will turn a darker color once fired and glazed.